shall we start? Anyone feels like wanting to start something urgently, or what's happening last week with you guys?
Yeah, nothing urgent. It was a calm week. I took
Mm,
everything slow this past week,
mm.
much more relaxed, trying to reflect on things, focusing more on work, and giving myself more time. Watched a lot of TV this week. All in all, it was a nice week.
Um, yeah, yeah. Watching yesterday, I spoke with a friend who is in therapy with a he has challenges in life. He's going through a roller coaster, and um, his therapist said when we're not happy with us ourselves, we're not content, and well, then in that phase, we try to meet up with people, and we try to watch too much, social media. Like we're trying to seek happiness from elsewhere. And so the therapist told him like you shouldn't book like plan things with others until you're actually learned how to just be happy with yourself. And of course, do the things that you need to do, like going to the gym and you know just spending time with yourself until you feel more like, yeah, I'm actually confident and happy with myself. And for me, actually, I think when you break out of the house, coming from an environment where you've always been with people, and when you go into an environment where you're not with people, I think that's always a challenge. You might feel this sense of being alone, right? And that's a challenge. However, yeah, it's to learn to be happy with us, to give ourselves time for us, for our health, for our mental health. I definitely think that it's a lesson learned in life. Like when you are able to get there. Let me see if we had it with it. Um, Finding love, control our thoughts. Um, yeah, like this one, but um, so it's like learning how to be happy, how to be happy, and um, with ourselves, right? This can be, being proud of your own achievements, being uh, happy to have, a moment of me time. Those kind of concepts are there. Um, uh, yeah, I mean, it's something to learn. It's not. It doesn't come easy. Well, by the way, I think um, when we're not happy, we are allowed. I think we also voted here. When we're not happy, we kind of want to do things that maybe blocks it out, or we escape, eating or playing games, overthinking, get out of the house. Well, getting out of the house. So in this case, this was to learn like if you always want to get out of the house
Yeah.
and you're not being able to be happy with yourself, right? So that's a caution uh, as well. So it's I think the key word here is balance. It to have both of it, being with yourself and being outside or having activities with others. So Nirav, how's that working out for you um, in Cochin now that you are away from home? How does your Sunday? How did your Sunday look like, Nirav?
It is not normal as we have in Gujarat because it's totally different area here. So there is always a language barrier, but these office colleagues makes me feel they welcome me wholeheartedly, so it feels good. Mm.
And this language barrier, how does that influence your, what you are doing there, or how you feel about it? I mean, you are in your own country, but they speak a language you don't speak, and apparently,
Yeah, totally different dialects. I couldn't understand a word.
I guess for Rob it was easier as he did grow up with that
Yeah,
accent or dialect. It's not even a dialect, just a different language.
Yeah,
a
completely
different,
different
totally
language.
different language. Yeah,
Yes, exactly,
a
exactly.
Dravidian language.
Yeah. So, but how did your Sunday look like then?
So yesterday we went to this. There is an area where fishermen lives. So we went to that area and have some local food. A fisherman also making this food for us and have some toddy there
And with who did you go?
with
Colleagues from work?
yeah, with colleagues and a CEO of this company, Hari, and
Okay,
with one and two girls. Mm,
okay, that's good.
mm,
That's
mm.
good. That's good that they're okay.
So this
That's
is my first time going out with
well,
more
yeah.
than two persons.
Ah,
Mm.
okay. That's nice to hear. That is nice to hear. Very good. Um, so when speaking of the word balance, right? Like I last week I started to get into this new client job, and while I know that they don't have the conditions to take me on, like full time or something, and even with a very discounted rate, I find myself in a place where I know that I can, like, my own habit is to pour in a lot of time. So last week, even before starting to begin officially, I already picked up the phone, called the client, escalated, issues that the client was having, got a fix, a deployment before the weekend done, so that the client that, and it was one of the biggest clients that they have. So I saw myself entering a realm, not a realm, but a context that I feel comfortable in, and I know, like, I can put a lot of work into this. I can easily not exhaust, but I can easily put in so many more hours than I'm being paid for. Um, so my challenge that and this time I don't want to do that. I'm conscious that I can, but I remember clearly the times that I um, worked in the past with, once I found a context, a work context that I would feel very comfortable in. I could work, you need many hours a day. And so for me, it's about, can I control myself? Can I still keep the balance that I have now, or not totally the same, but at least have time for my yoga, still go out for a bike ride or walk. So this time I'm going to try it. I'm going to try not to dive too deep into this context. Although I know that I can do a lot of good, but I'm just not gonna let myself run over. The same thing is with I when starting to be more busy, I notice I get less active on LinkedIn, right? But I told myself, no, I'm going to keep my LinkedIn profile alive. I want to, keep it myself visible. Uh, because eventually it will also help my new work context. But I decided, like, no, that's part of the balance that I want, to be visible, to still interact with other people, beyond my network and grow my network. So yeah, keeping a balance is uh, is I think one of the challenges in life, but it's also a great experience in life. Um, when we find that balance, I'm quite sure we found it often, no? Uh, the love. But you see here, understanding how to love yourself. So actually, I would say finding balance in life. Well, is that a maybe it's not an experience? Maybe it is. What do you guys think?
I think it's a lesson, right?
Less.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the lesson is that we're talking about the lesson, right? Like, uh, usually works best, right? Just we should not overdo. So for instance, we need to learn how to live in budget, right? Um, Therefore, the other day, Robin, you saw that I helped those kids in Uganda to get their semester school fees paid, right? And I spent more than I wanted last month, but now I'm going to I'm not going to spend much on charity, but I do feel that giving giving to charity is actually part of, when you can afford it, right? Is actually part of a balanced life. It means that you're helping others. And I mean, for here, we're talking about a semester for 7, 8 kids to school for, I think it was maybe 250 or 300 euros. So, it's something, right? Or that with 50 euro, you can feed them for a whole week, all these kids. So when you can give charity, and if the charity can somehow leverage, because our our currency is stronger than the local currency, I think, yeah, I'm gonna try to keep charity as a continuous part of my personal life. I mean, helping. I mean, the Ukrainian war boosted a lot of spending towards Ukrainians, but now that has kind of stabilized a bit, I'm like, well, uh, I'm gonna see what I can do more with Africa. But then I got another request to help another organization, and there I said no. I can help with time, but I'm not going to help with money because it's out of my budget at this moment. So yeah, keeping a balanced life. However, I do still think that sometimes I still believe that sometimes you just have to allow yourself to be head into something, whether it's to fix a personal relationship or whether it's work. You go deep to fix it, to get it done, to get it to an achievement that you could be proud of, and then bounce back to balance. So balance over the long course versus balance over the short terms. I think both are different. Um, Long term balance, uh, short term balance. My point is I think it's okay to overwork for 2, 3 weeks. Just pour in a lot of time into work and really achieve and get a result done that either brings you good money, brings a lot of satisfaction with your customers, but then you need to bounce back to a state where you do find time to do your exercises, to get to the gym or whatever. Often we actually, to run hard, work hard, we actually need the time to unwind, the time to rest, the time to um, do exercises. Or else, because if we don't do that, then go hard into work won't be as productive anyway. So, anyone else on balance? Where do you guys feel a disbalance or a challenge in finding balance at the moment?
So yeah, for me, like whatever happened over the past couple of weeks, like yeah, it's for me, it's like I always dive in too deep, whether it be relationships or work. Like it's like always like okay, all in or all out. You know, that's the issue with me. So I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to find this balance since this past week on how to focus on work and also keep the social life going. So this past week I tried doing less social activity than I normally do.
Hmm.
I went to the board games on Tuesday, but I didn't play any games because I was not feeling like it. So I just left early, and everyone was shocked that I was leaving so soon because they all know that I stay until the very end and I play all the games, as much games as possible, and I drink beers and share beers and whatnot. This so people, for them it came as a shock that suddenly there was a change in my behavior. I said I have work and other things on my mind, so I need some time off. So what I'm trying to do this month is I'm gonna meet my friends over the weekends when I get time. That's the social activity that I'm gonna keep going. But I'm like not going to the board games or the quiz night where there are a lot of strangers, a lot of crowds, like 5, 6, 7 hours at a bar. I'm trying to stop that for this month and see how it works out. Next month, maybe I'll start going here and there again, but it won't be as regular as I was doing it in the past since October up until February, let's say. So yeah, that's something that I want to try because I noticed that okay, going out it's fun and everything, but it affects my work definitely. Like I realized that whether I drink or not, it's already like I come back home around 1, 2 a.m. in the morning, and the next day I will wake up, quite late, missing meetings, not being able to focus on work. So that is something that I'm trying to change and trying to find that balance per se. So we have this meaningful connections meetup that happens every other Sunday. So that is
Hmm.
one that I'm gonna keep going to, 2 days per month. Nice to meet new strangers, do improvisation, theater kind of activities, and the other activity that I'm going to focus more on is music. I made some friends; they are also into music, so it's going to be a weekend music activity. So yeah, like trying to find the balance, trying to put more focus on my own hobbies, trying to give time to work, prioritize work throughout the weekdays. That is how I'm trying to find my balance this month. So yeah.
I I think the concept of, and this is where, of course, the Europeans versus the or the West, I would say, 5 day work week is kind of full time, right? In some countries, it's already less. It's 4.5, or some are moving towards maybe 4 days. Of course, in India, it's still 6 days most of the cases, right? Um, but yeah, I think yeah, you have to find a balance. I don't know how the Indians do that with the 7 day work week, a 6 day work week. But maybe that's also the reason why when I was there last year, 9 to 5 mentality is quite strong. Hey, if you need to do a 6 days work week, then it's still 48 hours, right? It's not a, uh, and I find actually 48 hours working not as a bad idea. I personally don't. I can, from if you can keep your focus, if you're happy with your work, I think working 5 days, 9 days, 9 hours a day, sometimes even 10. Like in my past, I've never felt that that's something bad. But of course, if you prioritize on the short term, right? If you should prioritize on the short term, of like, no, every day I want to have my sanity of 8.5 hours work, family, I still dinner time, and I still want to have 2, 3 hours of social time, right? Then you can't work long on those days. Um, but I guess whatever need fills your need, right? In your case, Rob, you don't have a family yet, so you still have quite some time to yourself, right? It's not like you don't, uh, because most of the free time that you have, it's really yours. There's no distraction, right? Now your parents aren't there, your sister isn't around, so you escape your your original commitments that came with your life. Now it's really your time to plan in. So even the working more during the week and having very meaningful time for yourself, your hobbies, in the 2 day weekends, I think that's quite, I think that could work out well as a balance. And then during the week, yeah, try to stay focused on the things that get you ahead with work.
Yeah.
How do you see that, Nirav, actually, about balance, and how do you feel about the 6 days work week in India?
I think it's hard for Indian people to work 6 days a week because usually they don't do work on Sunday or takes a half leave on Sunday because everybody needs 2 days at least holiday, one day for themselves and one day for family. So it's a me time also. After reaching here to Kerala, I couldn't get me time, so I I have to find work life balance. I
Ah,
don't know
there
how.
you go.
Yeah,
There
because
you go.
after getting back to my apartment, I just slept. I don't know. I feel exhausted.
What are your working hours during the week?
10, you can say 10 to 6.
10 to 6 is fine, and that's 8 hours.
Mm,
Okay,
yes.
that's kind of okay, right?
I think the
Uh,
weather also plays a role. It's just so hot and
oh,
humid.
Mhm.
yes, that's true. Hot and humid is a thing there for sure.
Yeah.
And
There is
also, I have a habit of sleeping afternoon time after lunch. So I'm not sleeping here.
Mhm.
Usually, I sleep at my home
Like a nap, yeah.
after lunch. Yeah, 1.5 hour at least.
1.5
Maybe.
hour. But then
That's a
you're
proper sleep.
tired during the day, I think. I mean, no, I'm not sure. I'm not sure with the with the humidity there. That's also. Um, I encourage you to find the steps. One of the steps could be on Saturdays, reduce the time that you spend with the team. I mean, I think you're already spending more time with the team than we've budgeted you. I mean, yeah,
All the time, I'm with them all the time.
for me, it's about working smart, right? Like
Hmm.
pushing tasks, like being focused on the things we have to do. And with the Indian culture, I don't get a big sense that it's about working smart. So they'll a lot of the what I've seen in coaches work in a kind of relaxed way, following a rhythm that maybe takes more time, but there's not enough thinking of like how to do this smarter, how to do this faster, how to do this more organized, better communicated. You know, those concepts are weak in that office. I know that, and I just had to accept it. or else I would have
Yeah.
begun. I if I didn't accept it while I was there last year, I would have gone crazy. I already, was a bit like I didn't want to spend too much time there because it was so uh, different from my own work methods.
Mhm.
But yeah, Nirav, you could definitely do that. You could definitely say like, you could optimize by different ways. Saturday, take a day off. As long as
Yeah.
you meet your hours, right? We did agree on how many hours you should work for them, and as long as you
Yes.
meet those hours, uh, then that's fine, right? Um,
Mm.
I think now the emphasis of the work has to go to marketing and sales, so that's where your emphasis should be. And sometimes, if you want to have time for yourself working, you say, I'm going to work from my apartment. I need to focus on things like working on the brochure, right? Okay. Because they will come to you
Yeah.
and they will ask you and they will defocus you. So you can also play around with like, okay, I'll take some focus time, maybe between 1 and 4 or something. I'm just saying some options, right? As long as you have to experiment so that you can keep your own productivity. And feeling exhausted, yeah, humility is a big thing. So
I don't think it's immunity. I think it's that my habit, that sleeping habit. If I sleep 1 or 2 hour afternoon time, then I won't feel exhausted.
that is true. That is true. Uh, yeah, which is true. Although I think it's okay to, not to have that long sleep during the. I personally think that the power nap structure might be better. That's what I think.
Yeah.
40 minutes should already be enough. Many people, I mean, I sometimes even take a nap of 15 minutes, and that
Mhm.
kind of, you know, declutters my mind. But experiment.
Yes.
Okay, Nirav. Again, you don't need to be there full time. That's not what was budgeted for you. But of course, be there. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, because yeah, you do have some other uh, you know cases. I know that we've decreased the load on the other work, but we did that so that you could get into the rhythm with this new job context, right?
Mm.
But yeah, you have space to balance out.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Mm.
yeah, I coming back. I think Robin, it would be healthy for you to uh, go into focus into work so that you can find your drive and what excites you and finding that direction that you will feel like, yes, this is my direction and I'm going to own it.
Yeah.
Like with Nirav, it's easier because he's in the context, right? He's fully there, so
Hmm.
it's easier for him to uh it's just easier for him to be immersed there
Yeah.
and be in the context. He doesn't need to think much about other things.
Hmm.
But for you, it's important to find your direction that keeps you, that allows you to build your drive to like, oh yeah, I see what I like to control, what I like to plan for, what I like to, uh, you know, uh, finish tasks one by one, like
Yeah.
whatever makes you feel good about it,
Hmm.
right? I think the India path, that's my gut feeling that you can, because it's, hey, that's where your natural highlights come out, right? Like your
Yeah.
natural talents come out. So,
Hmm.
and if we do this project for a while and we start getting the Indian students, it can grow, right?
Yeah.
It
Of
can grow.
course. Yeah. Yeah. So
Uh,
that's I've already like made my mind about this. Like March is going to be focusing more on work. So yeah.
yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, for me, no, I'll tell you even more. Like with my new work context, I still have to draft the agreement,
Mm-hmm.
but because I only give half time, but I know that I will spend more than that. I will spend probably at least 100 hours a month.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna build up towards the summer, where I will tell them like, in the summer I'll be less available,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll work more the coming months so that in the summer I can take 2 3 weeks off. Well, not totally off, but I do want to take some time off,
Yeah.
and so that's also a way of balancing out, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
if you're working in a kind of a freelance context for a long term, then you can negotiate that kind of
Mm-hmm.
pacing. Like I don't need any vacations until my kids have the summer vacation. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But even that said, many people do, right? Many people want to have a week off in between. For me, I think if you have um, strength in the short-term balance, then you can work more so that in the long term you have like this bigger break
Mm-hmm.
because your achievements have played out, right? And
Yeah.
you're taking a break to regenerate or re-energize for a bigger another burst of work because that's
Mm-hmm.
also sometimes how it works, right?
Mm-hmm.
People, I don't know if you guys know this show called or this series is called Deadliest Catch or something.
What?
Deadliest Catch.
I have heard of it, but no, I haven't seen. Yeah.
So these are
Yeah.
people who work for only the week so they can catch specific types of crab
Mm-hmm.
in the like northern oceans
Yeah.
seas, which is
Oh, yeah.
very cold, and that is like I think I don't know maybe 6 weeks or 2 months, something like that, because the quota, right? So once the quota is gone, they have to stop. They'll pull in every day. They barely sleep, and then they work on the deck, and it's dangerous, but they do it right. And then, but in those weeks or 2 months, they might earn. Sometimes they earn shit, but still, it's around 10,000. Sometimes they take home 30,000. You
Mm-hmm.
know, in
Yeah.
just 2 weeks. But then they go, and then they go and have a rest and have another job later on. But so finding that balance, I think is definitely, you have to learn, you have to experiment,
Yeah.
uh, and as said, we all have to have our own experiments in that.
Mm-hmm.
But Ralph, I think for you, it starts with saying, okay, hold on, I need to take more day off, or maybe find something like a gym or something that allows you to do a bit of that gets your heart
No.
rate heart rate up,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
Uh,
I have to find some gym not closer than my apartment because one girl from here, she's going there at
So,
that gym.
so
No, no, she already invited me, but I said no, no, I don't want to come.
well, that's up to you. But I mean, you don't need to go the times that she goes, right? Right? You don't need to. I think if there's a gym near the apartment, it's a benefit, right? You can go early morning, or you can go late night after, right? Like early morning actually might be a
Yeah,
proper
good
time.
idea.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think it's a benefit to have something close. You don't need to spend too much money to go elsewhere.
Mm.
That's my advice. But find the timing that suits you, that you're at peace. But often it's early, and at early, none of the other colleagues will be there. I guess.
Yes.
Correct. I
Yeah.
guess the girl that goes there goes in the afternoon after work.
Yeah, in the afternoon. Yeah,
yeah.
7 p.m. Yeah.
Exactly. So you go early before work. If you can pull that off, you'll find yourself more energized. If you can
Mm.
spend, you know, I think if you can spend 45 minutes with an elevated heart rate, right, doing some exercises, walking, running, whatever, some muscle, just 45 minutes a day is needed. We don't
Mm.
need more than 45 minutes a day, actually. Of course, if you want to pump muscles, then sure, do more. But I think for our heart to feel to pump, at a higher rate for 45 minutes, that's I think what the guidelines are. And if we can do that 3, 4 times a week, that's already very good. Like three is already good. Four is very good. Any more is not needed, I think. Like now I'm doing my yoga things. I do it almost every day, but some days I only do 15 minutes. Some days I do 45 minutes, but I also vary. But I find myself like if I am able to do. Oh, we have our morning calls here at 7, right? So um, I try to do at least 15 to 20 minutes of yoga before that. So I don't no longer take the full, the full kriya. I only do part of it, and I feel myself a lot more awake before I get into the call, and it just makes me. I know that it makes me feel better with my back and all. So, but yeah, it's finding that rhythm, that balance, right? What time do you go to bed nowadays, Nero?
Around 10 p.m.
But between 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. before you start work, you have plenty of time, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know when I.
Wake up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's around 9, and after 1 hour, I come. I comes here at
Hold
office.
on. You sleep 11 hours?
Yeah, not 11 or 10, 10 hour. You can say
That's a lot for an adult, I think, by the way. I think most
it's a it's
adults,
a lot than my usual sleep.
I think, Nirav, if you
Usually,
can, yeah, you usually what?
usually I sleep 8 hour only, max 8 hour.
So now you sleep longer because you feel exhausted.
And yeah, I don't know why.
Is there air conditioning in the room?
Yeah, that's not an issue.
Mm.
Maybe there's nothing to do here. That I I usually do this wandering thing on my bike at night time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not what I'm doing here. I
Mm.
don't have bike here. So
Okay, my advice: try um, try an hour of whatever exercise at the gym in the morning.
hmm
I think it will change how you feel. The exhaustion would go less. So
hmm
if I was you, yeah, 45 minutes a day, an hour a day of gym,
hmm
and I'm quite sure you'll be less exhausted at the end of the day. You need to get
yeah,
into
sure.
it, but I'm quite sure that it will work out like that.
Yeah. And even I don't have an appetite at night time. I don't know. That's also gone after coming here.
Oh,
No
Oh, I
appetite
mean,
and full exhausted.
but
mm,
that's also not correct, right? I mean, you need to eat. I mean, are you
Yeah,
eating?
I'm eating, but I'm not that much hungry at night time after coming here.
mm.
Don't know
Okay,
what's going on. My body is setting in this
okay.
environment.
I think the Saturdays take more time for yourself. Again, if you want to help the girls, to come in a couple of hours, 2, 3 hours, and just leave after that. Enjoy, coaching more. But the gym thing, do it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I
Finding
mean,
balance.
yeah, I did order this food every night through Zomato, this online platform, but I
Mhm.
couldn't finish the whole meal. Fish, chicken.
Oh,
That's normal. It is tasty, but still I couldn't finish whole plate.
Are you
next time.
drinking enough water?
I'm drinking water, 7 liter minimum.
What?
7 liter? What? That's too
What?
much.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
That's too much water. You need to
Are you
stop.
sure?
I know.
I don't think it's
Yeah,
7
seven
yeah.
liters?
liter.
That's
Two,
impossible,
bo-
man.
two bottle morning, yeah, 2 6. Yeah, at least 6 bottle, 6 liter at least.
That's too
I'm
much
drinking.
Whoa.
water. That's too much water.
Yeah, yeah. I'm drinking same amount of water at my home too.
But that
What?
is too much water. It will get you into health issues. It's not good to have too
Yeah,
much
I
water.
know, but I did have that kidney stone once, so that's why since then I'm drinking more water.
But I
I
think
know it's too
4 liters a day is already like wow. Like if you can do 4 liters a day, wow.
much.
I'm trying to get anywhere between 2 and 3, and
Hmm.
I think that's you know. Teams did something. Suddenly, Teams restarted while we were on call,
Huh?
and then it started
Yeah.
to break.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So, so I
yeah,
was saying that,
yeah.
yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sweating too. Yeah, Robin was saying that you should sweat. So I'm walking daily 40 to 45 minutes here.
What you were walking daily? What?
45 minutes here.
That's actually good. Actually, if you can do it.
Yeah,
Uh, but that's also humidity is high, right? I remember last year.
Yeah.
yeah,
It is high.
it's high here.
So, and that's in the evening. You take a walk or when?
After reaching to apartment, I just drink some water and go for a walk. Then coming back to apartment, I just order food online.
Interesting. If I was, whenever I remember being there, like after working day, I wanted to have food, and after that, maybe walk. But interesting. Well, hey, Nirav, find out what try different things.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah. As I said, I think your morning allows you to have some time, at least an
Hmm.
hour. Of course, walking in the morning is not comfortable. So get into the gym.
Hmm. Yeah. Maybe I have to find some gym, or at least I can walk. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
good thing that I'm experiencing these things. Hmm.
Yes, and that's where you have to search. Not to have to, but it's good
Hmm.
that you're experiencing it. And yeah, as I, we all have to find our new balances. That's what I think. Each time we change context, in your case, it's a drastic context change, right?
Hmm.
Um, do more effort to try.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so with the ladies, how are you there?
He's the sexy guy from the north.
Is what?
He's the sexy guy
Not at
from the
all.
north.
No, no, it's not like that.
All right. All right. Let's wrap it up early today. And let's get focused on work. And you, Nira, keep your balance. I think all of us, we need to keep our balance. Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, guys. See you all later. Bye.
Bye bye.
No?